Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Rebelwatch. I'm your host, Campbell Holmes, but today I am Jackson Dart. I am alongside sports reporter Sawyer Rovengo, also known as Lane Kiffin today, sports reporter Taye Coleman, also known as Matthew Morrell, and, of course, news anchor Walker Farmer, also known as Will Furness. Happy Halloween. We are so glad you're tuning in with us tonight. But we're going to have a really fun show. We're going to be talking about our regular stuff. And, of course, we are talking about Ole Miss football first. We got a win, finally. A SEC win. We beat Oklahoma last week at home. 11 a.m. game, early game. We had a little bit of a rough start, though, I must say. I was a little disappointed with them for the first half. Second half, we finally got it rolling. How did y'all feel that game ended up working out for us?
Definitely a rough start, like you said. The first half kind of gave me flashbacks, the Kentucky game. I was a little worried, they had to lead at halftime. But then that second half, I think we really started to just figure out kind of like each man's role, what they needed to accomplish. Defense didn't allow any points in the second half. And then offensively, started to play a little better. Got Caden Prieskorn involved. He had a nice long touchdown.
I'm glad that he was involved in this game, I must say.
Yeah, I know. I know his wife had been talking about how he hasn't been involved recently. So it was nice that he had a few catches, got a touchdown. Jordan Watkins had a long catch, and then we were able to give it to Pegues, punch it in close range for a touchdown. So, yeah, I was pleased with our performance, especially the second half. I think we can build on that, especially for Arkansas this weekend.
Yeah, that second half was a lot better. I was kind of shaking in my boots when we was down at halftime, but I think our defense had to react to OU trying to take a different offensive approach, dicing up different plays, weird schemes, kind of trying to throw us off, and then not being able to generate anything offensively kind of put us in a predicament going into halftime. But the defensive line stepped up big time going into the second half, and they just continued to fight, and that's really the story of it. But still some concerns on the offensive side of the ball, but good win nonetheless.
That's what I was going to say. The defense stepped up. Suntrain Perkins had 4 sacks, 8 tackles. He was a co-SEC Defensive Player of the Week, Reese's All-Star Game Defensive Player of the Week. Really stepped up, and that whole defense really showed, like you said, that second half stepped up. And I was getting nervous, little Groundhog's Day, like, what's happening again? But no, that defense came to play, got some fumbles late in the game, and really sealed that win.
Yeah, I agree. And as everyone knows, we are traveling to Fayetteville this weekend. Another 11 a.m. game. At first, I was like, why do we keep getting these 11 a.m. games? And then I remember, we did lose to LSU and Kentucky, so sometimes we deserve it. But I think it will honestly help us in our favor being an away team. I think that the crowd might not be as energetic. It might, just like, what Kentucky said about us, going into an 11 a.m. game, the crowd might not be as energetic as it would be at 6:30. So I think it's going to help us. Thinking about winning and losing, I think we're going to get the win. I think we're going to go in there, and our defense is going to be what helps us the most. What are y'all thinking about the game?
Yeah, our defense is the biggest concern going into this game is the offensive line. According to PFF, we are 109th in pass blocking and 125th in run blocking past week 5 once we started playing real opponents. So it gets dicey, right? It doesn't matter the level of talent we have receiving-wise if the quarterback doesn't have enough time to throw the ball or if we can't establish a run game. So I know our defense is going to hold us over like they've been doing, but once again, we got to get this offensive game going. Stuff like that is not going to be able to fly. So don't be surprised if, we find ourselves in a predicament if we can't get those things going in this Arkansas game, especially in Fayetteville.
I agree.
Yeah, they're a good team. I mean, they're 5-3. They're not a bad team, and I feel like we have to go in this week set a high expectation for ourselves because we know next week we got Georgia. So we really got to go in there. We really got to play our own game, not snoop down to their level, and come back home with that same energy in order to smoke Georgia, hopefully. Hopefully we'll see.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very close game. But like you said, the 11 a.m. kickoff I do think helps us a lot as the away team because I know historically we do not have a lot of success in Fayetteville. I believe we've only won there 2 times ever,
Which
2 or 3
is
times.
Weird because it's not like that stadium is anything really.
Yeah, they've just kind of been our kryptonite a lot of years. Even since Lane Kiffin's been here, we've only beat them at home and they've beaten us on the road. So if we beat them on the road here, this will be our first time under Lane Kiffin. But I think it will be a very close game. I think if we play like we should and we keep building on our past performances, we could cover the spread, beat them by 7 or 10. But if we come unprepared, play like we have the first half of Oklahoma, we play like that the whole game, we're going to get beat. So I hope we have a good performance and then hopefully just build momentum for Georgia.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree. If you're not traveling to Fayetteville, you can watch it on ESPN. Again, like we said, early kickoff. Make sure you're watching at 11 a.m. Are y'all going to Fayetteville?
I'm not this week, no.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be there. I will be there in support for the Rebs. I will bring y'all's energy to the stadium. But again, watching on ESPN. When we come back from this short break, we're going to be talking about the rest of the games this past weekend of college football. We'll be right back.
It's that time of the year again, fellas. When the mornings are hot, the afternoons are hotter, and football is on its way back. Now, games is won by the battles fought in August. Everyone that's not revered as the Ole Miss legend has been in your shoes before, trying to survive that Mississippi heat, competing for a spot, and knowing the sacrifice that it takes to make it in this league. You go into this money collection of men from 100 different places, and if you work, you emerge from it as one team with one goal and one heartbeat. The SEC awaits you. And if they don't know who you are now, they will soon.
Where are we gonna go?
Someplace warm. A place where the beer flows like wine. Where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. I'm talking about a little place called
Oxford, Mississippi.
To see it is to believe it. You hear about it, but you just have to see the party.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grove. The sound and fury are here. Getting out of toe down.
Pageantry, the pride, the pomp is unmatched and unrivaled.
The stadium has come unhinged.
This is what college football is all about.
Oh, as he gets walloped.
No coach is having more fun than usual.
This is the place to be in college football right now.
Welcome back to Rebel Watch. We're now going to be talking about the rest of the games this past weekend with college football. The first game I want to talk about that honestly really surprised me was LSU Texas A&M. And I mean, a lot of people have been saying that Texas A&M is, you know, the best team in the SEC. They're really showing themselves off. At first, I didn't really believe it, but not saying LSU is the best team in the world, but I mean, they really showed up and showed out. Were y'all surprised about that?
I was definitely shocked. I mean, judging off the first half, it's a completely different game. It's 17-7 coming back from halftime, and the coach made a huge risk by subbing out the quarterback and putting in Marcel Reed. But I think the MVP of this game is the defense, forcing Nussmeier to throw 3 interceptions and continuing to get the ball back and put that offense in positions to score. It's incredible what they did. I mean, LSU couldn't run the ball. And so when you force a quarterback to have to throw the ball 50 times, you're going to be able to stop him and get turnovers and takeaways. So I think it was great what the Texas A&M defense did. I think Marcel Reed stepped up big time by just going and scoring when he got the opportunity to. So I think it was a great game from Texas A&M.
Like you said, Connor Ringman did not show out. I think Le'Veon Moss had a great game, running back, 14 carries, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. I think that's a big factor to why they got going late in the game, like you said. But to your point, quarterback can get going, give him the ball on the ground, and he kind of took it away. Yeah, I think he did a great job.
Yeah, this game, I really thought LSU was going to win. It surprised me a lot. The first half kind of went the way I expected. LSU was winning 17-7. Garrett Nussmeier was playing well, throwing touchdowns. And then that second half, everything changed. I really felt like it was one throw. Nussmeier was rolling to his left, kind of threw it towards the middle of the field, threw an interception. And then right after that, all the momentum switched. Kyle Field at night,
Are
blackout.
you talking about when he like actually tried to tackle them? And did you see that video?
What?
When the LSU quarterback, he tried to tackle him, but he like accidentally fell. Did y'all not see that?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm showing y'all during the break, but
I kind of know. I know, like, he had another interception later in the game when the game was just, like, officially over.
That-
He just
that's
has his
what I'm
hands. He's like,
saying.
oh, yeah, it was over. But, no, that Kyle Field atmosphere, blackout, was insane atmosphere.
Those unis?
Yeah,
like you said,
unis are
blackout,
tough.
the all black versus all white.
Yeah,
I'm
all
a
white.
uni nerd.
Yeah, the
so the
uniform
little Aggie
matchup,
script
yeah,
on
I
the
know
side.
What you mean. It was
those
great,
are cool.
Yeah, it was a great uniform matchup. But then, yeah, like you said, the big change that I think affected the outcome of that game was substituting Marcel Reed, the freshman, in for Connor Wigman. They started running the option a lot with him, and then they just never picked up the quarterback. Big gain every time. I know he had a few rushing touchdowns, and then there was just nothing LSU's defense could do to combat that. So really impressive performance from Texas A&M. Did not see that coming at all.
I will say, though, real quickly, Whit Weeks for LSU, linebacker, great performance. He had 7 sacks. That is a school record for single sacks in a game at LSU. So, I mean, he was flying around all day. But, yeah. Not enough, I guess.
Yeah, another team that I thought, again, impressed was Vanderbilt. I mean, yeah, they didn't, don't get me wrong, they didn't get the win, but they really showed off during a game with, you know, not number 1 anymore, but used to be for however many weeks, Texas. I think they're still in it. I think they are still impressing and still a good team to keep looking out for, maybe for even playoffs. What are y'all thinking?
I don't know about that.
Maybe.
I think it's just a test of that the SEC's wide open. Like, other than A&M, who have had some nail biters, like, every team has a loss. Every team, it's not one-sided. It's not just this team is dominant and that is that. So I just think it's a test to just the SEC play.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. Like, last couple years we've had Bama's taking it, and lately it's been Georgia. Before that it was Clemson. We had teams that we knew what we're going to do. Like you're saying, it's wide open. Every team has a loss. Some of the major teams have 2, and we're just trying to see. No one really knows where it's going. I mean, at this point, it's up for grabs. Anyone can grab it. I think Ole Miss can come and take it if they win out.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to say.
Here's to hoping.
Yeah.
And thinking about games next week or this upcoming weekend, besides Ole Miss, what are some games y'all are interested in seeing? It's a pretty packed college football weekend, so what are y'all thinking?
I'm excited for Ohio State, Penn State. Going into Beaver Stadium, number 4 Ohio State, number 3 Penn State. I think that Ryan Day's offense with Chip Kelly, I think it's just too much for Penn State to handle, honestly. They have the freshman receiver, Jeremiah Smith, has been going crazy all year, balling out. And I feel like that the offense is just too dynamic and too electric that I feel like Penn State hasn't played anyone to show what they can do. They're a good team. They're ranked 4 for a reason. But I feel like Ohio State's just another level ahead of them. I just think they're too good.
I have to agree. Any other games that y'all are interested
I'm really looking forward to Texas A&M versus South Carolina at night in Columbia. I think even though we were so impressed with Texas A&M last week, I think we've seen already a lot this season that just because you play good one week, the next week doesn't mean you're going to play good. Just for example, Alabama beat Georgia, an amazing matchup, 2 highly ranked teams, and then lose to Vanderbilt the next week.
Yeah.
So I think A&M, the only SEC team that hasn't lost yet, I think they could lose this weekend, and then every single SEC team will have a loss.
Yeah.
I honestly hope that's true, just so, like you said, Taye, like everyone is on an equal playing field. Like no team is just like, oh, undefeated for the rest of the season. Like I really hope that it is, so it's equal.
And it would help Ole Miss a lot too if that happened too.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree.
would.
Yeah. Well, we're really excited about this weekend. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some maybe unknown Ole Miss sports and the new assistant coach for baseball. We'll be back.
Gonna be a hot one out there for move-in weekend, Ole Miss. Good luck this year, Red.
You did it. You're home. I can't wait for you to discover the true meaning of hotty toddy. It's a cheer that connects us all to the red and blue. It's the moment that begins when you step on campus and continues long after you turn your tassel. I can't wait for you to discover your legacy and make the world a better place. Are you ready?
Ole Miss 18th NCAA tournament appearance.
This is fun, folks, as Baker's peeling it. Little heat check. Snow Collins for 3. Bring it up.
Said, I love Madison Scott.
Ole Miss Rebels are having a lot of fun, and you can see why.
NewsWatch is a student-run newscast that goes live every week, Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock.
NewsWatch is more than just a college team. It is an immersive learning experience. You learn certain skills that help you in your future journalism career.
Rebelwatch is just a cool experience because I want to do something in the sports world. So just to get the chance to do that on a platform like this, it's just a great opportunity.
We are the only live station in the Oxford-Lafayette area, with Tupelo being the closest. We cover all local news.
Welcome back to Rebel Watch. We're going to be doing something a little different for this block. We are going to be talking about maybe some unknown sports in Ole Miss. And first, we're going to be talking about the rifle team. Did y'all know we had a rifle team?
I wasn't familiar.
I did.
Yeah.
Unaware of the rifle team.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be hearing from sports reporter Sarah Blackwelder about it, all about it.
The women's rifle team with a record of 2-2. Rifle matches consist of small bore and air rifle.
They're both 60-shot matches, so you'll shoot 60 shots of small bore and then 60 shots of air rifle, and the perfect shot you can have is a 10-9, and so in every position you're just trying to get as close to that 10-9 as you can.
Rachel Martin is the head coach and a respected figure in the rifle community. Martin has elevated the program and guided athletes to top performances.
I think a lot of communication, and she expected that, which is something that I feel like I've been able to bring into my coaching. It's something that I think the girls and I do very well because we've set that foundation. But it's always nice when you have a coach that teaches you, yes, obviously the shooting part, but the life skills as well.
Balancing school, rifle team, and a new place to live. Freshman Audrey Guna, who participated in the Olympic rifle competition this past summer, representing Switzerland, taking away a bronze medal.
So that was really a beautiful competition. So since now I think it was the best one. And so that was really a good experience because I was really confident about what I can do.
I'm standing outside of the rifle range where the women's rifle team just won their match this morning against Jacksonville State. If you're interested in watching a match, they play Kentucky at home on November 2nd. I'm Sarah Grace Blackwelder with NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Yeah, I knew we had a rifle team and I knew they were pretty good, but I honestly didn't even know we had an Olympian on our team. I mean, I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, we might have to go to one of their competitions.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them shoot a few. So.
I know. Well, speaking of, we are now going to look at a golf package by sports reporter Aaron Dorman. We talk about the golf team a lot just because this fall season they have been very, very good, #1 in the nation. So let's hear a little bit more about them.
Ole Miss men's golf was named the #1 team in the country on Wednesday, following their first back-to-back wins since 2016. The program continues to reach new heights under Coach Malloy and Coach Newsom.
Yeah, anytime you can do a first in program history, it's pretty special. And I think ultimately, #1, mid-year ranking isn't the ultimate goal, but it's a part of the process. And so to say it feels anything but great, I'd be lying.
The team's success isn't the only storyline happening this season. Junior Michael Lasasso was named the 4th-ranked collegiate golfer as an individual this season, following the team's win at Fallen Oak in Biloxi.
When we go tee it up, you honestly don't know who's going to beat who. It's because it's so competitive. I feel like ranking is just kind of a reflection of the work that we do back home. Right now I would say I think I've kind of got the lead on the guys, but I guarantee by kind of the end of the year we'll have a couple guys inside the top 10.
The win in Biloxi comes at the end of the fall season for the Rebels. They will look to keep their minds sharp for the long layoff before the next tournament in February.
Just trying to get better every single day and just trying to push each other. We still have a couple weeks left of school, so just trying to get out here, try to not grind as hard, but still have fun with it and still try to get better.
Lasasso, Tankersley, and the rest of the top-ranked Rebels will look to continue to pick up on their historic season in the spring, February 1st, when they'll head to Georgia Southern for the Thomas Sharkey Individual. Reporting from the Ole Miss Golf Course, I'm Aaron Dorman, NewsWatch, Ole Miss.
Yeah, I honestly loved getting to see all their fun personalities throughout their interviews and just seeing that, you know, even though they are a team and they are a really good team, they also are bonded so well. And so it's like, you know, all we get to talk about is how well they did at tournaments. And so getting to see a little bit more about how much they love each other and how much, you know, of a team they are, like, you know, bonding, you know, wise, I thought it was pretty awesome to see that. So yeah. Well, now we're going to be listening to sports reporter Jacob Duncan talking about the new assistant coach for baseball. Let's hear it.
The Ole Miss Rebels have hired a brand new pitching coach for the 2025 season, Joel Mangrum. Mangrum is more excited than ever to be with the Rebels and predicts that it will be a successful season because of the extensive history that the program has.
Was something that I wanted to be a part of. You know, from the outside in, you view Ole Miss as a special place, but it's a lot more special getting to be a part of it once you're on the inside. So,
Coach Mike Bianco, Ole Miss head coach, is thrilled to be alongside Joel Mangrum. The Rebels have not had a designated pitching coach in the past, but that will not be the case for this season. Bianco trusts Mangrum's leadership and coaching history to help the Rebels pitching staff succeed this season.
He's a superstar in that field, a guy that not only did it in college, but has done it at the professional level, was the director of pitching coordinator for the Cleveland Indians. And so, you know, we're really excited and think it's going to make a huge impact, you know, in our program.
Mangrum has an extensive resume as he's coached for several colleges like Louisiana Monroe, Austin Peay, Milligan College, and recently has even been with the Cleveland Guardians and the MLB on their coaching staff. Closer for the Ole Miss Rebels, Connor Spencer, is excited to have an experienced pitching coach to help guide them now.
When you can get a guy that's dealt with guys like Emmanuel Clase and Shane Bieber, who are not only MLB pitchers but MLB All-Stars, and having somebody who was not only around that but helped them get to where they were, you know, having that kind of experience in your back pocket, I mean, can definitely improve some 18, 22, and in my case, a 23-year-old pitcher in college looking to make themselves the best they can be.
Look out for the Ole Miss Rebels this spring as they're planning to have a huge season with the impact of Coach Joel Mangrum on the already very well-seasoned pitching staff that includes veterans like Connor Spencer, Hunter Elliott, and many more. Reporting to you from Swayze Field in Oxford, Mississippi, Jacob Duncan, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Yeah, I know y'all probably don't know a lot about Joel Mangrum, but he was the in charge of the pitching for all of the Cleveland Guardians organization, minor leagues and everything. So he actually got to kind of coach Dylan DeLucia, he was a big pitcher who won the championship with us. There was also Doug Nikhazy, who pitched before them, big Ole Miss pitcher. I remember watching it in 2021. So yeah, this was just a great hire for Ole Miss. Mike Bianco actually said, I know a few weeks ago, that it was probably the greatest hire he's had as a coach. And our pitching has been one of our main struggles the last few seasons, one reason why we've struggled so much. So hopefully with this hire, our pitching will improve a lot, and hopefully we'll see this Ole Miss baseball team be a lot better this year.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm really excited for baseball season to start. I know, you know, we've always been talking about football, always talking about basketball, so I'm really ready to see how good they are because, you know, I was a freshman or going to be a sophomore in the summer where we won the College World Series, and having that, you know, aspect of us being a good baseball school, I mean, you really can't beat it. Good weather, good baseball team. I'm really excited. Are y'all excited for baseball season?
I'm stoked. I'm a big baseball guy. Football, baseball, my two sports. So like you said, a good hire, good team, bring the energy to the SIP. I mean, maybe there'll be enough hype like there's for football around baseball this year and get the people out to Swayze and have fun with that. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited. Got the jersey, ready to go.
You're ready, Will Furness. Yeah, we're excited for baseball season. But speaking of baseball and winners, we're going to be talking about the World Series and when we get back from the break.
The dynamic freshman is starting to make his impact.
With the shot clock down to 1.
That 3-ball drops for Jamin Brakefield. Fagan from the corner with a triple. Burrell for 3, and that's a big response. Miss shooting lights out of the pavilion. And give him one more. Wow. Alley-oop. No, you can't teach that. Well, that should give Ole Miss a boost.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
We are Rebels. For more than 160 years, we've been accomplishing the impossible, from conducting the world's first lung transplant to helping prove Einstein was right. From preserving the past to saving the future. We are Mississippi's flagship university, a place where passion and learning unite, where friends become family, where small-town charm meets world-class innovation. We are the University of Mississippi. We are Ole Miss.
Welcome back to Rebelwatch. We're now going to be talking about the World Series. It has ended. The LA Dodgers are your World Series champions. Are y'all surprised by that? Because I don't think I am. I was really, by game one, expecting a win for them in the series. What are y'all thinking?
Yeah, I wasn't really just surprised. Even at the beginning of the season, everyone knew the Dodgers were going to be a good choice to win the World Series. I know they got Shohei Ohtani in the postseason, in the offseason, one of the greatest MLB players of all time. So he definitely helped a lot. Not really in the World Series. He struggled there, but Freddie Freeman really stepped up big in the World Series. Hit 4 home runs in the first 4 games, and then he had a 2 RBI single in Game 5 to help kind of get back in that game. They were down 5-0 and came back to win. So just really impressed with the Dodgers and just how they played the whole postseason, really.
Yeah, going back to what you said, I didn't really expect Ohtani's hitting slump to go how it was, but I think Freddie Freeman definitely stepped up. I don't think this series is as far-fetched as it is if he doesn't step up. You know, I know you had Mookie Betts and Tio Hernandez really play well, but, you know, with Ohtani being down, I definitely think Freeman stepped up, and I think that's why he won MVP.
Oh, I'd agree. I think, you know, it was very well deserved by him to win MVP. Yeah,
batting 300 in the World Series. He had multiple RBIs in every single game that they played. It's that consistency when it really matters. When it comes to crunch time, how well can you play for the 7 games? Well, in this case 5, but I think he really just stepped up to the plate, no pun intended. But I think he just did a good job. Yeah, he did good.
So thinking about other teams that were in the playoffs, you know, other than the Yankees, are there any other teams y'all were thinking that should have been in the finals?
I think that the Padres, if they beat, not biased, not biased at all. I think that the Padres, if they beat the Dodgers, they can go on the run. They beat the Mets. I think the Yankees didn't play this well during the postseason. I feel like they had an easy run to the World Series. So I feel like the Padres, with their staff, did amazing this postseason up until the Dodgers. Their bats came alive. I feel like the Padres could have made a good run. I feel like that was my team.
I could agree.
I just feel like the Phillies, you know, they had a really good regular season, one of the best teams, and then they just couldn't quite get it done in the postseason the last few years, just kind of choked in a way. But I also was really impressed with the Mets. Just going on the run they went. I don't really think they should have made it to the World Series because they shouldn't even have made it to the NLCS, but just really impressed with how they played and just going as far as they did.
Right, yeah. Well, we're excited for the LA Dodgers. That is all we have for today's show. Again, happy Halloween, everyone. I'm your host, Campbell Holmes. Alongside me is sports reporters Sawyer Rovengo, Taye Coleman, and news anchor Walker Farmer. Thank you so much for tuning in with us this week, and tune in next week, Friday at 5. Good night, everybody.